Fancy meeting you here. Thank you for joining me. I am delighted to have your presence. I know we live in it. It's a big house. Homerton House is large, you know. At least we don't get under each other's feet, you know. I'm tucked away in my own little room. It could be worse. But thank you so much for coming into the town. I have selected this location because, well, actually because the owner is my cousin, but she's an absolute dear. Some would say a little bit nosy, but she has mother hen vibes. She likes to look after people, so yes. And so this place, it is only a small town, and this is a kind of cafe, bar type. We've cleared it, obviously, for now, because you're here. That's, it's the least we could do. But I thought, get you out of the house. You've been with us, what, a week? I think a week now, yes. How have you been finding it? Okay, I heard that you have met Willie. Well, I know for sure that he did. She was so excited to meet you, and afterwards she did nothing but sing your praises, so obviously you made a very good impression. I consider Willie a very good judge of character. Yes, she has made some excellent choices on her staff, and yes, to hear wonderful things being said by Willie, then you are settling in so well. Excellent. I'm glad that you liked her too. I mean, that would be terribly awkward if you didn't. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Well, let's not, because unfortunately this is not an issue. Okay, so also, you obviously look at you. You're looking fabulous. You look so good. Yes, so we brought over Sophie de Boulangère. Yes, stylist, consultant. I know, it sounds like such a fancy job, and you'd expect someone to be so a little bit aloof, but she's a darling too, right? I know that we brought her over from Paris to work on you a little bit, and she said that you were great. You are a great canvas to work with, and she didn't really have to make many suggestions to you, and you seemed quite open to them and quite positive, and we love that. We love that you are embracing your role at Homerton House. Oh, yes. I admit, I did avail myself of her services. I have had, yes, she sorted me out with a new haircut. Obviously, I represent Homerton House, and I need to look my best too. I hope you don't mind. I think you were in the bath or something. So yes, I've had a little bit of a chop and just a tidy up. So I'm as happy as a flea. I do rate Sophie, and also obviously my language skills came into play there. I got to demonstrate some of my French. Oh yes, yes. De temps en temps, je prends du jambon. Bonnet du douche, bonnet du douche. Nehmen Sie die erste Straße links. Ich bin geen Apple. Yes, that was all French entirely. Yes, see? So obviously we got on like a house on fire. It was just like... Right, so as well as getting you out of the house, there is a reason that I wanted to chat with you here. You can smell those delicious pastries and foods and things, right? Yes. Miss Bridges does hang out here from time. I didn't know that swapping recipes and getting excited about new ways to deal with different ingredients, that's a thing apparently, and people do that. So yes, my cousin and Miss Bridges they get on like a house on fire. Honestly, I don't know. I have not met anyone who does not get on with Miss Bridges. So yes, they exchange recipes, give each other ideas, and also this cafe helps out when we have catering. Okay, yes, now, yes, I'm going to come clean. I think it would be a smashing idea if you were to throw a party. Yes. Now, obviously, it would be about you. As you had your makeover, you should get the vibe that we don't want to entirely change you. You are a wonderful person. You are special. You are unique. You are an individual, and all we want to do is make the most of you. And I would like to have the estate host a party to welcome you, and perhaps pick up some themes that you might want to incorporate, so that perhaps the locals be able to get to know you. Does that sound okay? That sounds very overwhelming. I understand, but I would like to reassure you that I am here for you, new hair and all, and you're not alone. In fact, we're going to do all the work. We just want to pick your little brains. We've got gigantic brains for ideas and inspiration. I have an acquaintance who I met travelling in Europe. She's called Alexis, and she is a wonderful events organizer. Yes, she's from America, but let's not hold that against her. I jest, of course, I am hilarious. Yes, her family had a little bit of a rough time. They started off quite well to do. They had like a video business, I think. Yes, her mother's been on television, quite an inspiration, and they had a bit of a tough time, but Alexis has picked herself up, dusted herself off, and she is wonderful. She does PR and events organisation, and she happens to be in the area for the next couple of weeks. So I thought we could take some ideas from you, and we could perhaps point them in her direction, and she could make them happen. There is definitely budget for this. We have budget set aside for events throughout the year. It would be lovely because the last event that we held was a memorial for Lady Squamelot, and I think it is time to have a more positive memory, to move on, take things forward, not entirely forget. We don't need to forget. We just need to accept that pain, keep it within us, and just keep going, because that's what Lady Squamelot would have wanted. She wouldn't want us to be beating ourselves up, and I'm glad you understand. So what do you think? Could I tempt you just to give me some ideas? Would this be something that you would be interested in? Okay. So, first up, location. Well, obviously, I'm thinking Homerton House. Yes. I know that you have been rummaging around, exploring, and that is entirely fine. It is your home. You are welcome to do so. You actually have not discovered everything, I'm pretty sure. But that's, something to talk about at a future date, perhaps. There are some doors that remain locked. But they won't, honestly, we'll find out. Yes, Lady Squirmalot. She was a very interesting person. She had diverse interests and pursuits, and she had a heart of gold. She really did. So, the ballroom. Obviously it's quite large, yes. It is currently covered in dust sheets. The nature of the beast with these large houses, if the room is not going to be used all the time, then we are going to take measures to minimise the dusting and to protect the furniture. There are some wonderful antiques. Yeah. You've been doing what? Oh. You've been making blanket forts out of the Well, if that makes you happy, then continue to do so. You make as many blanket forts as you wish. Oh, you're really a lot of real estate, that will. It is quite a large room. Well, yes, I'm afraid the blanket forts will have to go on the back burner whilst we prepare the room for the event. But don't worry, we'll pop them back again. Excellent. Right. You are an enigma. I hope you realise that. And you are a breath of fresh air. Blanket forts and all. So, yes, we will dust off some of the larger entertainment reception rooms. We will not open up the entire house because, well, I'm not going to go into any details, but the people end up in all sorts of places when you do not rope off areas, and you never know who or what you may encounter the next morning in a corner somewhere. Yes, well, it's the nature of the beast. People do get curious in these large houses. You're very lucky to have free reign. Anyway, so location is sorted. Do you have any sort of theme? So do you want a masked... Honestly, I think a masked ball would be a little bit over the top for us for right now. This, I think, is going to be a great way to get to know the local community, to bring them in, meet some of the business owners, some of the families. So let's not make it too pompous. Well, as unpompous as an event at a country manor could be, of course. So let's not do anything overly fancy. We could keep it simple with maybe just a theme, so either a colour scheme or... Okay, you're thinking just the simple colour scheme. Alright, now black and white is a bit... well, probably not what we're going for. Again, it's probably in the same vibe as the whole masquerade thing. Alright, well, you can have a think about some of your favourite colours, some colours that you feel might work with the house, and get back to me. So we'll do a colour theme. It'll just be like an accent, nothing too in your face, nothing too gregarious. Alright. And Willie has said that obviously she can get floral decorations sorted. You can have a think about whether you want the grand floral arches, centerpieces in the center of the tables. Actually, that brings me to a thought. What would you like to do for food? No, I don't mean now. I mean, yes, of course, now we can order. Alright, yes. Okay, well, for me, I think a little apple turnover, just a little something. And a cup of tea, yes. Okay, we'll get. My cousin's listening. Yeah, I'm sure that those things will be brought over imminently. Okay, so, but as for food for the night, now we do have the capacity to sit down, have banqueting tables placed. You would be at the head table in the centre, of course, as you will be taking Lady Squamelot's role. Is that a little bit uncomfortable? Okay. Yes, I can understand that. It's the same sort of feeling as the masquerade. Probably a little bit too fussy for us. Okay. So one of my favourite types of things, I just love little nibbly things. I am a fan of a little nibbly thing. I can't help it. Just little tiny. Oh, I love them. Yes. Well, we can arrange canapes, crudités. How about bowl food? Small plates. So people can mingle. They can walk around. They can help themselves to food from different places. They can mingle more. Be a lot of mingling. I hope that this will be a lovely, positive, very friendly event. Not that events are not friendly, but sometimes at events you just want to stand in a corner and then hope that it's all over and then go home and have a hot chocolate and just turtle up. I do that. I understand. So hopefully this will be much more relaxed. It's important that everyone feels relaxed. Okay. So, tables throughout with different snacks, different canapes. Yes, that's very thoughtful of you. Of course, yes. We can cater for our pescatarian friends, our vegan friends. It's not a problem at all. We will make sure that everything is clearly marked. We already have details of the allergies. The villages I sound. But the townsfolk, again, I sound as though I'm talking hundreds of years ago, but the locals do pop up and spend time with us from time to time when needed. You would not believe the amount of weddings that Lady Squamelot would get invited to. Christenings, all sorts. Oh yes, and sports balls. Yes, how are you with sports balls? Oh, what? Which sports? I don't know. Okay, so there are some that you... Right. Oh. Well, yes, it sounds like you are definitely more on top of these things than I am. So, not sitting down. We're going to be wandering, nibbling. What are we going to be hearing? What is going to be in our ears? I know of a harpist. Is that what they're called? Yes. He is wonderful. Lady Scrammelot loved him. Very talented. Could just... You would not... it's one of those things where you would hear a tune and it would be all majestic and harpy, and you'd recognise it and you wouldn't quite know where you're recognising it from, and eventually you would twig, there would be like some sort of Star Wars or goodness knows, there would be familiar songs, but because they're on a harp, it takes me a little while to work out what they are. We could do that, and yes, there is the piano. We could would you like to? Is there a musical instrument that you would like to showcase? We'll have a little think and let us know. I don't want to push you, but the option is there. I think that would be quite lovely. But no fears if not. Don't worry. Okay, so I'm going to contact my pianist friend. I'm also going to contact my harpist. Do you want like a band? A DJ? I am sure that we could rustle up a DJ. Do you know what? If that is something that you would like, we can certainly look into that. I'm sure Alexis will have contacts. Okay, we could do that too. But also have different music in different rooms. You really do want to ensure that everyone is looked after, don't you? That is one of the wonderful things about you. So, that would be music sorted. You're going to get back to me on the colour scheme. Food, we're just going to have a range. How about we get some ideas together with Miss Bridges? Yes, for these things she does not do them alone. We get in some help, but she spearheads the operation. Oh yes, absolutely. It is just mind-blowing to watch that woman at work. She's just ridiculously good. I am so glad that she's not been snapped up by any other household, to be honest. Although not that I think she would want to leave. She's been with us for quite a while. Yes, bless her. Right, so colour scheme, food, music, any other entertainment? Okay. Do you know, that is a very good point. I entirely agree. And I think that as a farming community nearby, that I think they will appreciate that consideration. Yes, fireworks are beautiful, but they are so noisy and so dangerous to animals. Well, that's really thoughtful of you. Okay, so no fireworks, but we could look into maybe a laser show or something. Perhaps a little bonfire. Okay, yes, we could look at a little bonfire. A little kind of bar nearby where we could have some marshmallows and things to just warm up. Obviously, it would all be supervised. Lots of fire extinguishers and things. Well, that sounds very cosy. We could probably get some bales of hay just placed around so we could sit. That sounds so cosy. I don't think we've done that before. I think the locals will appreciate this consideration. Okay, so a light display, but without the bangs of fireworks. Excellent. And children. Yes, yes, we could have some children. Oh, I see. Well, that again, you're so considerate. So, dedicate one of the rooms to the children so the adults can just do their thing. We'll get in some, not babysitters, but someone a little bit more oomphy, a little bit more in control, I guess, than, yes. And we will have a room dedicated to the children and little children-sized snacks. No, that came out wrong. Snacks for the children. So nothing too sugary, maybe just a few. Yes, no alcohol. Even I had clocked that one. Yes. So we could do that. The children being looked after in a separate room. The adults don't need to worry about them all night. They don't need to get themselves babysitters. They don't need to cancel because they don't have a babysitter. Okay, so some activities for the children. Great, I'll get Alexis to have a little think, but if you do have any ideas, do keep them away from the bonfire. Yes, sparklers though. That's yes. Yeah, we could definitely get some sparklers in as long as they're properly supervised and briefed. Perfect. Right. Is there anything else that you would like to talk about? I mean, there's the guest list. Do you know what? Let's just keep it quite open. You may make some new friends. So, it will be invite only, but I'm going to make sure that everyone in the community is invited. There are also some of Lady Squirmelot's acquaintances through some of her activities, and I feel as though it would be wonderful if you could meet some of those. Activities based in the house. Yes, they would have meetings there, essentially. And I think this would be an ideal time to meet some of those. They are wonderful people, so nothing to be worried about. Okay, and is there anyone that you have met that you would like to invite? Or, I suppose, is there anyone you would like to fly over? We could probably arrange that. Alright, I will make a note of that. So, always lovely to receive an apple pastry. Just something about them. I think it's the sugar on the outside and the crunchiness, and then the appley soft goodness inside. It makes me so happy. And a cup of tea. You can never beat a cup of tea. So, we will finish up our snacks. Do you have shopping and things? You were just exploring? Well, continue to explore. Yes, it is a lovely little town. It is so charming. Lots of old buildings. We were very fortunate to have not been touched by the Blitz. So we do have so many beautiful old buildings. And it's really important for us to maintain this quaint, gentle way of life. Yes. It is a wonderful place to come to just get away from the stresses and strains of the world. Yes. And we do have excellent broadband, so that's, that does help. Right, well, I will let you finish up your tea and your pastry and let you go about your business, have a little pootle around. I will see you back at the house, alright? But you have my number if you ever need me. You know I'm here for you. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today. And you look fantastic. You are wonderful. I'll see you later.